Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Warpath Cybertron Trilogy Siege Red Alert, along with a bonus review on Battlemaster Aimless. Now, I'm going to start with Red, so let's just get Aimless out of the way. Now, of course, like always, Red Alert is a recoloring a sideswipe with an added light bar. Although this time the light bar is actually an accessory instead of just a molded-on piece, so that's cool. And well, this guy, being part of the Siege toy line, is meant to be a Cybertronian vehicle. Although, come on, this just looks like an actual Lamborghini Countach vehicle. Although, if you want him to actually look like a Lamborghini Countach, well, there is the Kingdom version of this guy. Although it is harder to find because I'm pretty sure that was a store exclusive. I mean, sure, it does actually look like an actual Lamborghini, and it's got more detailing around the back section here. But, well, I'm pretty sure it's actually harder to find. Although I'm not sure on that. But, yeah. Let's just have a look at this guy. Well, of course, as we can see, this is a... I'm not calling it a Lamborghini because it's just meant to be Cybertronian, so let's just call this a kind of sports car. Although Red Alert's actually meant to be a fire chief car, or at least he was in G1, because this is actually meant to say fire department in Cybertronian. Oh, in fact, I actually thought to show the box, so let's have a look at that first. Well, if you remember my reviews on Prime and Starscream, then you'll know the Siege box quite well, although this is a deluxe class box, so it's got the hang tab. So here we have Red here, holding some kind of axe weapon that's actually made from his light bar. If I can get the light thing showing, the light gimmick. Yeah, I don't have a UV light thing, so I have to use other means, but I'm pretty sure, from what I can remember on TF Wiki, the backlight code thing is actually meant to be Rung, who is an IDW character. Yeah, if I ever do get a UV light, I'll probably do a video showing it all my Siege boxes. Although, I don't know. The other side showing some characters from the Siege. Pretty sure that's actually meant to show off the characters from the Siege cartoon. Got the back of the box. We can see that he's actually S35. You have him in both modes. Got this sticker here, that's just added. I don't know, like, it was like that when I got it, so. Advertising some Battlemasters, I'm pretty sure that guy's name is Smashdown, and I don't know that guy's name. Yeah, I have no idea. And I don't really want to attempt a name because, well, when I've guessed other Battlemaster names in the past, I've gotten them wrong, so I'm not going to attempt a name. But yeah, that's pretty much the box. Okay, now let's have a look at Red's vehicle mode. So yeah, as I was saying, this is meant to say FD in Cybertronian lettering. And if you remember G1 Red Alert, this said FD in English. The sides where normally it would say, hang on, I do have G1 Red, which I'll show in a comparison soon. Normally it says Fire Chief on the side, which it doesn't here. Got some combat ports here where you can put a gun on. The wheels are red. And back here, which we don't have any detailing, which the Kingdom version actually does have, so yeah, the Kingdom version is better in that regard. Underneath, well, we can see his head slightly, but it's being covered by this bit. You can see his arms here, although, well, you can sort of see how he transforms, but I don't mind that. I mean, it's a really cool looking transformation, and I really enjoy it, so I can forgive it. Here we can see the flight stand port, which, if I still had it, yeah, because my flight stand broke, if you don't know. Thanks, Grapple. So I can't, unfortunately, get them into a jumping pose unless I hold them with my hand. It's only a big loss of, like, star screams, because now he can't do any aerial shooting poses. But, well, I do want to get another one soon, so, Okay, now, for comparison, here is G1 Red Alert, or to be more specific, this is a commemorative series reissue. But we can actually see that these are actually pretty different looking when it comes to the vehicle shape. I don't know how this guy looks next to Kingdom Red Alert, because this was retooled quite a lot, but I don't know. But we can see that the hoods are different, because this doesn't say Fire Chief. The windshields are way different, because this one's just fully black, and this one's actually transparent. Of course, this one has no rub sign, because, well, the Warpath Cybertron trilogy figures don't have rub signs. I mean, the Select Galvatron figure does, but that's meant to be an entire homage to the Galvatron figure from G1 and the Marvel Comics Galvatron, but that's pretty much the only Warpath Cybertron trilogy figure to have a rub sign, so yeah, of course, this guy doesn't have a rub sign. The light bars are actually pretty different. This one being, this guy's light bar is actually pretty shorter. A pretty major difference. This guy doesn't even have a spoiler. Although, I'm pretty sure you can 3D print a spoiler for this guy, so... But, officially, the Siege mold doesn't have a spoiler. Now... Okay, one thing I do really like... You see how G1 Red has all this... Well, red on... the red striping? Well, the Siege figure actually... Well, it exaggerates it, for lack of a better word, and I love that detailing. I think it looks really good. I just love this red striping. This is something the Kingdom figure doesn't have for whatever reason. And it's the main reason why I decided I decided to get this guy over the Kingdom figure for this reason. I'd still get the Kingdom version, but, well, maybe just to, I don't know, keep it in robot mode and put this one in vehicle mode. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, another difference. There's no FD sticker, or there's no FD tampograph like this guy has. And as we stated, same here on the door. And well, those are pretty much all the differences I can notice. Now, before we get onto the robot mode, let's have a look at the combat ports and the accessories. Pretty much he has this gun, my chest just started to hurt there. Sorry. So, but he comes with this gun, which you can put on either port here. Okay. It'd be cool if he had another gun or like a rocket launcher, like what Sideswipe had, so he could put it on this side. But Now, one thing you can do is remove the light bar and put the gun up on here if you really want to. Or even bring Aimless back. Do this. So yeah, you can do that if you really want to. And speaking of Aimless, let's have a look at him now. Well, he's a blue and grey gun. And well, of course, let's look at his box. I mean, not really much to say. It's an actual cardback thing this time instead of a box. It says Aimless, and it says that he's actually S17. It says here that he was 6 pounds. I mean, it would be amazing if I got him for that much. The back of the box, it shows him with Starscream. And we got these blast effects, which I've actually shown in my previous review, Grapple, as well as my review on Warpath, so... And here they are. About time I've actually gone to reviewing this guy, Yeah, not really much to say about this gun mode. I mean, if you've seen G1 Aimless, pretty much, he's actually quite fragile because he was held together by just one clips, but this guy, he is not breaking. This guy is staying together. But what you can do is you can put these blast effects into here. Oh, I dropped it, but you can put the blast effects into here. Now it can look like he's firing, which is amazing. And, well, it's not just Aimless that you can put these on. You can also put it on other weapons. For example, here's Prime's gun, as well as the shields. So you can put it up on here. And you can put the other one in here. I'm not showing the actual figure itself. I'll do that later, because you can actually put these on the figures themselves. I'll show that later. So here we have Prime's weapon. I'll just fold these up, I forgot to. Here you have Starscream's null rays. Here's Hoist's little arm mounted gun. And as shown in the previous review, his grapple little missile thing and his gun. So yeah, and in future War for Cybertron Trilogy figure reviews, I will show blast effect compatibility, so that is going to be really fun. Now these can also be used on the figures themselves, but I'll show that in robot mode. Speaking of which, let's actually transform these two, starting with red. So to transform red alert, well, straighten his light bar at first if you putting it back on, but there we go. If you want to keep the light bar on, then you can. But first of all, open these up, so I guess you can have like a little makeshift Thunderhawk mode. Yeah, not really. But just lift these bits up. Open these little flaps on the legs and rotate this around. Rotate the entire waist around. Bend this so we get the feet. Close the flaps and split the legs. Get the arms out. Then fold these bits out. Well, fold these bits in. Is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, it's warm today. Get the fists out. Take this section that was behind the face. Lift that out, and then just like with G1 red alert, get the hood down. And that's the robot mode. We're not going to transform Aimless just yet because he is compatible with other figures in their robot modes. But, well, red is accurate to how he looks in G1. I'm just going to be transforming the G1 reds for his comparison later on. But yeah, this guy is pretty accurate to how he looked in the cartoon. Right down to, well, his head, which is, well, a red color instead of the black colored head that the toy had. Okay, there we go. Got the toy transformed for the comparison. So having a quick 360. Yeah, not really much to say. I mean, the wheels are actually here instead of on the shoulders, like what G1 Red had, but that's just because, well, he is a recolor sideswipe, so. Having a look at the head. Well, I'd say he looks pretty, well, it's a standard head. I think it would be cool if his head was more paranoid looking, because if you remember, he was pretty jumpy in the G1 show, to the point where in one episode, he was convinced that everyone was out to get him. Man, I think this guy would be good friends with Tweak from South Park, because they're just both so paranoid all the time. But, well, for the weaponry, of course, he has the gun. I think he just hold it like that. Not really much to say. Although, what you can do is remove the light bar. Yeah, there we go. Remove the light bar. Put it in this actual hole in the gun. And put it in the hand like this, and now it's an axe. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. And that gives him room to hold Aimless. Although it's a bit loose in this hand, but he can still hold him nonetheless. Why an Autobot would be holding a Decepticon target / Battlemaster, I'll never know. Maybe it's like a micro continuity where the Quintessons have just enslaved all Cybertron. I don't know. I'm just being stupid. But yeah, going back to Aimless, other Warpath Cybertron trilogy figures can hold them. For example, Prime. So there's that. Starscream, as advertised on Aimless's packaging. It's a bit jarring to see Starscream without the null rays, but oh well. And it's not just Siege figures. Earthrise figures can also hold him. For example, here's Hoist. Here's Grapple, who was my previous review. Oh, there we go. And finally, Warpath. I mean, why someone with an actual tank turret for a chest would need to hold a little gun guy, I'll never know, but hey, it's an option. Plus, the actual blast effects are compatible with the figures as well. For example, if I go back to Prime, you can see these little bumps on them. For example, on his shoulders. And I think there's some on his legs. And that's because you can actually put them on his, well, you can put these on his body and make it look like he's being shot at. Sure, they look minor, but there are some blast effects. For example, jet fires. To make it look like, well, I'll start again. Jetfire and blast effects and Omega Supremes, they have blast effects, like they're just huge blasts, whereas these are just like little fire bits. So these look minor, but if you have like jet fires, then it could look like Prime's leg is being shot off. So. But something else cool, you can also put these on a figure's feet, as I've shown in Grapple's review, and you can give them jetpack feet. Sure, it's more convincing with jet fires, blast effects, but, well, let's just say that Prime's now got laser feet. So, if he's trying to relax and Megatron's just walking up to him, boom, Prime just incinerates his Megatron's kneecaps. But yeah, so the Starscream, he's got a bit here that he can get shot at. And he's got a bit here, I just noticed, so he can get shot right at the shoulder. And he can get shot right at the leg. So he can quote that guy from SpongeBob, "My leg!" Plus the thrusters on his feet. It can also accept these, although of course they'd be more convincing with like the actual blast effects that Jetfire has. And I'm struggling to put these in, but you know, you get the picture. With Hoist, well, I can see someone in his arms. So you see. Don't think there's any. I don't think there's any on his legs, unfortunately. So yeah, there you go. And of course, in Earthrise, jetpack feet were still an option, although in this case it's laser feet. But yeah, in Earthrise, jetpack feet and laser feet were still in style. as you saw in Grapple's review, he's got a port here and one right on his tummy. I'm just going to keep the claw on his arm because there's no reason to remove it. Well, in fact, there is, because I'm pretty sure you can actually plug this in. Yeah, you can, which is cool. And, well, if you see my review on Grapple, then you know I have that issue where one of the pegs on this bit came off during transformation, so I can't really do laser feet on that one. But I can still do it on this leg. For Warpath, of course, you can put this on the tank turret. And there's one right here. Also, the shield has one, although I showed that in Warpath's review. And I guess if you really wanted to, figures can hold them like little lightsabers. And of course, Warpath can also have the laser feet. And of course, Red himself. So if I can just... So his gun can accept the blast effect. As can his feet. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna put this back on his... Well, I'm just gonna put this back where it was. There we go. So yeah, the blast effects are pretty cool. So yeah. Now, let's actually get to transforming Aimless. Well, to get him transformed, let's unpack the arms. Unpack the legs from the gun section. Rotate all this around, split the legs, and rotate the gun section to the back, and here he is. If I had Titans return misfire, these guys would look so cool together. But yeah, not really much to say. I mean, his head does look really cool if it would focus. He's got this huge peg right on his chest. One thing you can do... Oh, there you go. One thing you can do is to attach the gun and put it on his arm like some kind of fusion cannon. There we go. I just prefer to leave it on the back. But yeah, the articulation's just that and that. Oh yeah, he can also do the splits and T-pose, but yeah, not really much to say. So let's look at Red's articulation. Well, his head is on a ball joint, and he can also look around. Arms can of course rotate. He has elbows that can also rotate. Of course, he can T-pose. Due to the transformation, he's got a waist joint. Legs can go forward, then go back. The knees sort of work in a cool way because of the transformation. Of course, you can do the splits. And due to the ankle pivot that he has, he can hold it. So yeah, I'm really liking the articulation that the Warpath Cybertron figures that have, so... These are some of my favorite figures to pose, actually. Mainly because they actually keep the pose without falling over because of the ankle pivots. Now, to end this off, let's compare him with G1 Red in robot mode. And well, as you can see, the head colors are different because this one's black, this one's, well, red. The chests are different because this one actually says FD in English and this one says it in Cybertronian. The Fire Chief lettering is gone on the Siege figure. The leg detailing is different. The arm transformation is different because this one actually has the arms peeking through the doors. The shoulders are, the shoulders have the wheels on them instead of, the wheels being still on the hood. The way that the back transforms is different, as you saw. And the weaponry is different. Because, Siege Red Alert just had this gun. G1 Red Alert had a rocket launcher and this gun. And ironically, this gun is red, this one is black. And ironically, the head colors were swapped, as were the guns. So that's also ironic. Now, if you want Red Alert to have a missile launcher, get the Kingdom version. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Complaints about these guys? With red, I'd say the Kingdom version does look better, but the fact that it's an exclusive, it just makes me confused on whether this guy is better or not. But although that one is just a nitpick. Actual complaints? I can't really think of any. Yeah. I actually can't think of any complaints. Maybe the fact that the vehicle mode was a bit generic looking, and the Kingdom version actually looks like the real vehicle. So, yeah, that's pretty much the only complaint I can think of. For Aimless, I can't think of any complaints either. So, do I recommend these two? For Red Alert, if you don't mind the Cybertronian alternate mode, then yeah. He does look really cool, but if you prefer Red Alert to actually be a Lamborghini Countach, then go for the Kingdom version if you can find/afford it. I managed to find this guy for a good price, so hey, I'm happy. As for Aimless, it's always nice to get a Battlemaster. Sorry, my tongue just stopped working, but it's always nice to get these guys for these little blast effects, because you can do really cool stuff, like give everyone laser feet. So, yeah, I definitely do recommend these guys, but for Red, only if you don't mind that this guy's a Cybertronian vehicle and not an Earth one. This has been my review on Siege Aimless and Red Alert. Sorry, my tongue just stopped working. And this is Charlie Young, signing off.